All right, folks, it is officially day 8 of 31 Days of Horror slash 31 Days of Halloween. And today we're full swing into the atomic age. We've gotten past World War One, past World War Two, and now we're smack dab in the middle of the atomic age. And from 1954, we have what is usually regarded as the last hoorah of the Universal Monsters boom. We started all the way back in 1925 with Phantom of the Opera. Of course, it's Creature from the Black Lagoon, and I have a confession to make. Despite the fact that this film is considered pretty much a genre classic, I didn't see it until like earlier this month. Like it took me that long to to see it, and you got to say, when you hear a movie is pumped up and considered a classic for as long as a film like this has, you kind of go into it, expecting to be let down. But you know what? It's actually a really entertaining little B movie. I mean, it's really great. I mean, the special effects are terrific. The cinematography is outstanding. And, it's really the perfect drive-in movie. Like, the entire time I watch this movie, I'm like, I want to be in, like, a Corvair, like, on top of the pavement somewhere, having a big gulp, because it's just perfect um, for that kind of environment. And it doesn't really lose a whole lot in the translation to the internet. I'll give you that. So anyway, Creature from the Black Lagoon, if you don't know what it is, where have you been? It's a very, very straightforward film. There are a bunch of researchers hanging out in the Amazon exploring ancient wildlife, and one of the things they encounter is the iconic gillman. What's a gillman? Well, it's a fish person, a big, gross, green fish person who really wants to eat women for some reason. And when you watch this movie, it is amazing to see just how pervasive the influence of its plot is. I mean, it's like everything from like Alien to Jurassic Park to everything. Congo, well, that's an obscure reference. Predators, everything kind of follows the similar structure of this one, to where you have the guys out there who are not necessarily running away from the monster. I mean, in earlier horror films, the idea was there's this evil thing out to get you, let's avoid it. Well, here they're actually trying to capture it. So they're kind of being the aggressor, but also the creature from Black Lagoon himself is also after them. So it becomes a really interesting dynamic there, which you really didn't get in the older Universal Monster movies. So I mean, yeah, there's really not a whole lot of plot to say. I mean, it's mostly just the researchers running around and they're finding dead bodies and they're finding mysterious tracks. And there's some really great scenes where like the creature almost attacks them, but then he pulls off at the last second. They did a couple of times. It's a really, really effective scare. And the highlight of the film has to be the underwater cinematography. Now, the thing is, nowadays, that's like a dime a dozen, but that was like really like newfangled, like innovative technology back in the day. And I mean, to be honest, it looks great. I mean, it looks better than the underwater scenes in Jaws, if you ask me, even if it's in black and white. He's got such a clarity to it. So that in of itself, you get that very fluid motion, which really, unless there's some really, really important genre landmark came before this, I don't think it's ever actually been tried in the major horror movie studio canon before. So yeah, I just gotta say, it's a great, entertaining movie. You sit down, you get a pizza, you watch it. I mean, it's cheesy, yeah, but it's actually pretty well developed. I mean, the characters are kind of smarmy. They have an attitude to them, and it's just a fun, fun movie with great cinematography, and of course, the big conclusion where they're running around with a spear gun, trying to capture the creature. It's pretty harrowing stuff. And if you've never seen it before, you probably should. It's a really, really surprisingly great entertaining film. And the only thing that I didn't like about it is that it was initially released in 3D. So I can't watch it, obviously in 3D, even though you do have the stuff jumping out at you. So that's the only thing that I didn't like is I can't replicate that, when you're watching it on, your laptop. But yeah, Creature from the Black Lagoon, it's great. If you haven't seen it, it's a really, really, really entertaining movie. I'm going to give it 3.5 Ghost Reese's Cups out of 4. So I'm serious. This is some good, good stuff. And if you haven't seen it, you should. All right, and up next, we're going on to see what the British were doing with horror in the late 1950s. And this happens to be one of the most iconic cult classics ever. But is it as good as its reputation would lead you to believe? We'll find out.